In the heart of East Africa, where the horizon stretches endlessly beneath a blazing sun, a breathtaking spectacle of life and survival unfolds across the vast golden plains of the Serengeti. This is the Great Migration, an epic cyclical journey that stands as one of the most extraordinary natural events on Earth, a living testament to the power and persistence of wildlife. Each year, nearly 2 million animals, primarily wildebeest, but also vast numbers of zebras and gazelles, embark on a relentless circular odyssey. Their movement is a thunderous tide, reshaping the landscape as they pass, trampling old grass and fertilizing the soil, leaving behind a mosaic of life and renewal. At the heart of this migration are over 1.7 million wildebeest. Their deep, resonant grunts form a constant, vibrating chorus that echoes across the savannah, a soundscape as ancient as the land itself. These animals are driven by powerful instincts, their social bonds and herd dynamics guiding their every move. Alongside them, around 200,000 zebras travel in tight-knit groups. Their striking black and white stripes create a mesmerizing pattern against the tawny grass, and their keen senses help alert the herds to danger, making them invaluable companions on this perilous trek. Trailing the main herds, 300,000 nimble Thomson's gazelles form a swift rearguard. These delicate antelopes, with their alert eyes and lightning-fast reflexes, graze on the shorter grasses left behind, playing a crucial role in the ecosystem by keeping the vegetation in balance. The driving force behind this immense movement is the unending quest for survival. The herds are compelled by the need for fresh grazing and water, their lives dictated by the rhythm of the rains and the ever-changing face of the savannah. As the seasonal rains sweep across the Serengeti, they transform the landscape, turning arid plains into lush, green pastures. The animals, guided by ancient memory and acute senses, follow the scent of rain and the promise of new growth, moving in synchrony with the weather patterns. When the rains fade and the grasses wither under the relentless equatorial sun, the herds are compelled to move on. Their departure leaves behind a landscape stripped bare, but also fertilized and primed for the next cycle of renewal. This endless cycle of consumption and movement is the heartbeat of the Serengeti. The migration is not merely a journey for food and water, it is the engine that sustains the entire ecosystem, supporting countless species and maintaining the delicate balance of life. Predators, from lions to cheetahs and hyenas, depend on the migration for their survival. They watch the herds with patient intensity, their own lives intricately linked to the movements and behaviors of the grazers. The migration covers an astonishing distance, nearly 2,000 kilometers or over 1,200 miles each year. The herds traverse open plains, dense woodlands, and treacherous rivers, their journey a test of endurance and resilience. Along the way, they face countless hazards: parched earth, swollen rivers teeming with crocodiles, and rocky escarpments that challenge even the strongest among them. Many will not survive, but their sacrifice nourishes the land and its inhabitants. Predation is a constant threat. Lions and other carnivores stalk the herds, singling out the weak, the young, or the unwary. The chase is swift and brutal, a stark reminder of the raw realities of life in the wild. Yet, the migration is not chaos. It is a marvel of natural organization, with animals moving in coordinated lines, guided by instinct and the collective wisdom of the herd. Each individual plays a role, from vigilant sentinels to nurturing mothers and playful calves. The route flows in a great loop, beginning in the southern Serengeti of Tanzania, sweeping northward to the Masai Mara in Kenya, and then returning south as the seasons change. This journey is a testament to the resilience, memory, and determination of these remarkable creatures. The scale of the migration is almost beyond comprehension, a living river of animals, stretching as far as the eye can see, moving with purpose and unity across the African continent. At sunrise and sunset, the herds are bathed in golden light, their silhouettes painting the plains with movement and life. The air is alive with the sounds of hooves, calls, and the rustle of grass, creating a sensory tapestry that is both ancient and ever-renewing. The ground trembles beneath the weight of millions of hooves, dust swirling in the air as the herds surge forward. The energy is palpable, a force of nature that shapes the land and all who inhabit it. Each animal, from the youngest calf to the oldest matriarch, is a vital part of this living tapestry. Their faces reflect the wild spirit of the Serengeti, alert, determined, and deeply connected to the land. The migration is more than a collection of individuals. It is a superorganism, a single, cohesive entity moving with shared purpose and instinct. The unity of the herd offers protection, guidance, and strength in numbers. The story of the Great Migration is a timeless saga of survival and adaptation, of birth and death, and of the intricate, delicate balance that sustains life on these iconic African plains. It is a living drama, played out year after year, a testament to the enduring power and beauty of the natural world. The great migratory cycle of the Serengeti begins not with movement, but with a breathtaking surge of new life. On the vast, open southern plains, the air is thick with anticipation as the first contractions ripple through the herds. Each birth is a testament to survival, a moment where instinct and environment converge in a delicate balance. Between December and March, immense herds of wildebeest gather on the nutrient-rich short-grass plains of the southern Serengeti, especially in the Ndutu region. Here, the landscape is transformed into a living tapestry of mothers and soon-to-be-born calves. The arrival of the short rains in early December is a signal for life to flourish. Rainfall seeps into the earth, coaxing dormant seeds to sprout and carpeting the plains in a vibrant green. This flush of new grass is rich in essential nutrients, providing the perfect sustenance for pregnant females as they prepare for the demanding process of birth and lactation. This is the birthing season, a time of both immense vulnerability and overwhelming abundance. The plains become a sprawling nursery, where thousands of mothers give birth in the open, exposed to the elements and the ever-present threat of predators. In this temporary sanctuary, the future of the migration is secured. The herds swell dramatically as newborn calves join the ranks, each one a vital addition to the population and a potential survivor of the journey ahead. The most extraordinary aspect of this event is the synchronized calving. Almost as if by a silent agreement, the majority of females give birth within a narrow window of just 2 to 3 weeks. This remarkable coordination is a product of evolutionary strategy honed over millennia to maximize the chances of survival for the next generation. In this brief period, over 500,000 calves are born, an average of 8,000 each day. The plains are suddenly alive with the sight and sound of newborns, their bleats echoing across the grasslands as they take their first breaths. This mass birthing is a classic example of predator swamping. By synchronizing births, the wildebeest ensure that predators are simply overwhelmed by the sheer number of vulnerable calves, making it impossible for them to consume more than a small fraction. Lions, cheetahs, and hyenas prowl the periphery, their senses attuned to the cries of the newborns. Yet, even these formidable hunters are outmatched by the abundance, forced to select only the weakest or most isolated calves. While some calves inevitably fall prey, the overwhelming majority survive this perilous stage. The odds are tipped in favor of the species, not the individual, as the predator's appetites are quickly sated. The herds cluster tightly, forming a living shield around their young. This collective defense is a powerful demonstration of safety in numbers, a life-and-death gamble that, year after year, ensures the continuation of the migration. For each newborn, survival hinges on speed and determination. Within moments of birth, a calf must summon the strength to stand, its legs trembling as it rises from the ground. Weighing a sturdy 18 kilograms, the calf's first challenge is to find its feet. Instinct drives it to stand, wobbling but persistent, as its mother nuzzles and encourages it. Within minutes, Most calves are upright, their unsteady legs quickly gaining strength. This rapid development is essential, for danger is ever present. In just a few hours, the calf can walk and even run, keeping pace with its mother and the moving herd. This ability is crucial, as stragglers are easy targets for predators. Over the next few weeks, the calves grow stronger and faster, reaching speeds of 40 to 48 kilometers per hour. This agility allows them to blend seamlessly into the herd's movements, further reducing their vulnerability. The southern plains offer a brief but vital window, about 3 months, during which the calves feed, play, and build the stamina needed for the migration. The rich grasses fuel rapid growth, while playful interactions hone the skills required for survival. Throughout this period, the herds are in constant motion, their senses heightened. Mothers remain vigilant, scanning the horizon for any sign of danger, while calves learn to respond to subtle cues and warnings. Communication is key. The air vibrates with the low moans of mothers calling to their calves, each pair able to recognize one another by scent and sound, even in the chaos of the herd. The plains become a living mosaic, each family unit a vital thread in the fabric of the ecosystem. The presence of so many calves attracts not only predators, but also scavengers and other grazers, all drawn by the abundance of life. Despite the advantage of predator swamping, danger is a constant companion. Predators lurk at the edges, ever watchful for an opportunity, and the tension between hunter and hunted shapes every moment on the plains. The herd's collective vigilance is their first and most effective line of defense. At the slightest hint of threat, the animals bunch together, presenting a united front that deters all but the most determined predators. This birthing season is not only the foundation of the migration, but also a cornerstone of the Serengeti's ecological balance. The abundance of calves sustains predators and scavengers alike, while the grazing herds shape the very landscape, ensuring the renewal of the plains for generations to come. It is a spectacular, essential chapter in the story of life on the Serengeti, one that guarantees the continuation of this incredible natural wonder for another year. While wildebeest are the most numerous participants in the Great Migration, their journey is intricately intertwined with that of another remarkable species, the plains zebra. Though wildebeest dominate in sheer numbers, it is the zebras who serve as the true navigators and pioneers of this epic odyssey across the Serengeti and Masai Mara. Zebras, with their striking black and white stripes, are always at the forefront of the migration, guiding the vast herds across the ever-changing landscape. Their keen senses and innate memory of ancient migratory routes make them the natural leaders, forging paths through tall grasses, across rivers, and over dusty plains. One of the zebra's most significant contributions lies in their unique digestive system. As hindgut fermenters, zebras are able to process coarse, fibrous grasses that other herbivores, such as wildebeest and gazelles, find difficult to digest. This adaptation allows them to graze on the older, tougher vegetation that dominates the savannah at the start of the migration season. Acting as nature's lawnmowers, zebras move ahead of the main column, consuming the upper layers of dry, unpalatable grass. Their relentless grazing clears the way, exposing the tender, nutrient-rich shoots beneath, an essential food source for the millions of wildebeest and other grazers that follow in their wake. This process of sequential grazing is a masterclass in ecological cooperation. By removing the tough grass, zebras not only secure their own sustenance, but also facilitate the survival of countless other species, ensuring that the migration can continue at its astonishing scale. As zebras feed, their grazing exposes the lush green undergrowth. This fresh grass is not only more palatable, but also richer in nutrients, providing the energy and sustenance required by wildebeest, especially lactating females and their calves, to endure the grueling journey. The relationship between zebras and wildebeest is a prime example of niche partitioning. While both species rely on the same grasslands, They utilize different parts of the resource, minimizing direct competition and maximizing the productivity of the ecosystem. Zebras take the bulk, wildebeest the quality. This symbiotic dynamic extends beyond just feeding. Zebras, with their robust digestive systems, can survive on lower quality forage, while wildebeest depend on the higher quality shoots. Together they form a living conveyor belt, each species benefiting from the presence of the other. The result is a seamless, coordinated movement of hundreds of thousands of animals, each playing a role in the survival of the whole. The zebra's actions set the pace and direction, while their vigilance and social structure provide added security for the entire herd. Unlike wildebeest, which synchronize their calving to overwhelm predators with sheer numbers, zebras employ a different reproductive strategy. Zebra foals are born throughout the year, ensuring that there are always young among the herd, each at a different stage of development. The gestation period for a zebra mare is lengthy, 12 to 13 months, resulting in the birth of a single well-developed foal. This extended development ensures that the newborn is strong and alert from the very beginning. A newborn zebra foal weighing around 30 kilograms is remarkably precocial. Within minutes of birth, it is able to stand, and within half an hour, it can run, an essential adaptation for survival in a world where predators are ever present and the herd is always on the move. This rapid development is crucial. In the open savannah, immobility can mean certain death. The ability to keep up with the herd from the very start gives zebra foals a fighting chance against the dangers that lurk in the grasslands. Zebra herds are structured around tight-knit family groups, or harems, consisting of a dominant stallion, several mares, and their offspring. These social bonds are strong, with adults working together to protect the youngest and most vulnerable members. The dominant stallion is both guardian and leader, constantly vigilant for threats. He positions himself between danger and his family, ready to defend them with powerful kicks and fierce determination. A mature stallion, weighing between 350 and 450 kilograms, is a formidable presence. His strength and aggression deter many would-be predators, while his leadership keeps the group cohesive and alert. Zebras possess exceptional eyesight and acute hearing, making them some of the most effective sentinels on the plains. Their ability to detect movement and sound from great distances allows them to spot danger long before it arrives. When a threat is detected, zebras emit loud, high-pitched barks, instantly alerting not only their own kind, but also the wildebeest and other animals nearby. This early warning system gives the entire herd precious seconds to react, either to flee or to form a defensive front. In this vast, moving city of animals, zebras are more than just trailblazers. They are the vigilant guardians, the pathfinders, and the glue that holds the migration together. Their unique adaptations, social structure, and interactions with other species are fundamental to the survival and success of the Great Migration, shaping the destiny of the savannah itself. In the endless, sun-drenched plains of the Serengeti, a remarkable journey unfolds each year. Following in the wake of the vast, thundering herds of wildebeest and zebra, another traveller emerges, smaller, swifter, and no less determined. These are the Thomson's gazelles, the smallest and most agile of the three main migrants, and their odyssey is a story of survival, adaptation, and resilience. Named after the 19th century explorer Joseph Thomson, these graceful antelopes form the rear guard of the great procession. While the wildebeest and zebras dominate the front lines, the gazelles follow, their delicate forms weaving through the dust and trampled grass. The migration is a living chain, each link with its own role. Zebras, with their powerful jaws, lead the way, cropping the long, tough grasses that few others can manage. Their passage opens up the landscape, making way for the next wave. Wildebeest follow, consuming the medium-length foliage left behind. Only then do the Thomson's gazelles move in, their arrival perfectly timed to exploit what remains. As selective feeders, Thomson's gazelles specialize in the very short, tender grasses and herbs that are left close to the ground. This unique feeding strategy allows them to thrive where larger herbivores have already passed, ensuring that every level of the grassland's bounty is utilized. Adult gazelles are lightweight, typically weighing between 44 and 77 pounds, and standing only 24 to 28 inches tall. Their small size is an advantage, allowing them to move swiftly and efficiently across the plains. Their coats, a blend of light brown, white, and a distinct black flank stripe, provide excellent camouflage against the sun-bleached grasses. This natural disguise is vital, for the open plains offer little shelter from watchful eyes. Unlike the dense, surging masses of wildebeest, gazelles move in large but more dispersed groups. Their nimble forms are a common sight, darting and bounding across the savannah, always alert, always ready to flee. The constant twitching of their tails is more than a simple response to flies. It is a subtle but effective signal, a silent language that communicates alertness and potential danger to others in the herd. When a threat is detected, the entire herd becomes a living network of vigilance. Ears prick forward, bodies tense, and in an instant the gazelles are ready to spring into action. The Thomson's gazelle is a primary target for Africa's swiftest predators, especially the cheetah. To survive, the gazelle relies on its astonishing speed and agility, capable of reaching bursts of up to 50 miles per hour. When danger strikes, the herd doesn't simply flee in a straight line. Instead, they scatter in multiple directions, a tactic designed to visually confuse the pursuing hunter and make it difficult to single out one individual. From the predator's perspective, the sudden explosion of movement is disorienting. The gazelle's erratic, zigzagging sprints and sharp turns make it nearly impossible to predict which way a target will go. If a single gazelle is pursued, it may engage in a remarkable behavior known as stotting, leaping high into the air with all four legs held stiff. This is not a panicked reaction, but a deliberate signal to the predator. Stotting demonstrates the gazelle's fitness, signaling that it has seen the predator and is healthy enough to outrun or outmaneuver any attack. This display can sometimes discourage the predator from giving chase. The message is clear. I am strong, I am fast, and I am not an easy meal. In the high-stakes world of predator and prey, such signals can mean the difference between life and death. The journey of the Thomson's gazelle is not just about movement, but also about the cycle of life. Their birthing strategy is uniquely adapted to the dangers of the open plains. After a gestation period of 5 to 6 months, a female gives birth to a single calf weighing about 10 pounds. Unlike wildebeest calves, which join the herd almost immediately, the newborn gazelle does not follow the group for the first few days of its life. Instead, it relies on a different strategy. The tiny calf remains perfectly still, hidden in the tall grass. Its spotted coat blends seamlessly with the dappled sunlight and shadows, making it nearly invisible to prowling predators. The mother grazes nearby, returning periodically to nurse her hidden offspring. This hider strategy keeps the vulnerable newborn out of sight, reducing the risk of detection. Only when the calf is strong enough to run and keep up with the fast-moving herd does it rejoin the group. This moment marks its entry into the perilous world of the migration, where every day is a test of speed, awareness, and adaptability. Through these remarkable adaptations, specialized feeding, cryptic camouflage, lightning speed, and complex social signals, the Thomson's gazelle endures. Their journey across the Serengeti is a testament to the power of evolution and to the delicate balance of life on the African plains. As the months of April and May unfold, the southern plains of the Serengeti begin to change. The short rains cease, and the once lush grasses dry out under the relentless African sun, their nutritional value plummeting. This environmental cue triggers the next dramatic phase of the migration, the great trek north. The vast herds, now bolstered by hundreds of thousands of new calves, begin to move. They abandon the exhausted southern plains and start their arduous journey towards the western corridor and the Grumeti region, driven by the instinctual promise of greener pastures sustained by the long rains further north. The exact timing can vary, but the departure is, well, inevitable. This northward journey is characterized by immense scale and an accelerated pace. The herds, which had been spread out across the southern plains, now begin to coalesce into massive columns. These living rivers of animals can stretch for up to 25 miles, a truly staggering sight from any vantage point. During this phase, the animals pick up their speed, covering an average of 6 to 9 miles each day. This is a faster pace than at other times of the year, a reflection of the urgency to reach fresh grazing lands. The ground trembles, and a constant cloud of dust hangs in the air, marking the procession's path across the savannah. The organization of the herd during this trek is a marvel of natural engineering. The zebras typically take the lead, their ability to digest coarse grasses making them ideal pioneers. The wildebeest follow closely behind, forming the immense central body of the migration, their sheer numbers a formidable presence. Finally, the smaller Thomson's gazelles bring up the rear, nibbling on the shortest shoots. While they move as one colossal entity, the herds may also disperse into smaller, more manageable groups. This helps to reduce the immense pressure on the vegetation in any single area, ensuring there is enough food to sustain them as they travel. The journey north is not a straight line. It is a meandering path that follows the rainfall and the resulting flush of green grass. The animals must navigate a varied and challenging landscape, from open plains to acacia woodlands and rocky kopjes. Each new terrain presents its own set of obstacles and dangers. The Grumeti River, with its deep channels and resident populations of enormous crocodiles, is one of the first major barriers they must cross. This northward trek is a test of endurance, a relentless march where only the strong and the lucky will survive to reach the promised lands of the north. Along the way, the herds must find water sources to quench their thirst, often competing with other species for these precious resources. Predators like lions and hyenas follow the migration closely, knowing that the journey will provide ample hunting opportunities. The wildebeest form protective circles around their young, a defensive strategy to ward off these relentless hunters. Overhead, vultures circle, waiting for the inevitable casualties that will provide their next meal. The interconnectedness of species is evident as zebras and wildebeest graze together, each benefiting from the other's presence. Zebras, with their keen eyesight, often alert the wildebeest to approaching danger, showcasing a remarkable example of interspecies cooperation. When crossing rivers, the combined strength and numbers of the herds help them navigate the treacherous waters more safely. Periodically, the herds take brief rests, allowing the young and the weary to recover before continuing their journey. They endure harsh weather conditions, from scorching heat to sudden rainstorms, each challenge a testament to their resilience. Finally, after weeks of relentless travel, the herds reach the lush green pastures of the north, a reward for their perseverance and unity. Here, they can graze and regain their strength, preparing for the next phase of their epic journey. The Great Migration is a cycle of life, death, and renewal, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Serengeti's inhabitants. The Great Migration is not only a breathtaking display of life on the move, but also a relentless, moving banquet for the predators of the Serengeti. As hundreds of thousands of wildebeest and zebra surge across the plains, their sheer numbers create a living tide that shapes the fate of every creature in their path. The immense concentration of herbivores draws a formidable array of hunters, each with their own specialized strategies. For predators, this is a time of abundance, but also of fierce competition and risk. The herds, in turn, must remain ever vigilant, their survival dependent on constant awareness and collective defense. Lions, the undisputed kings of this domain, are masters of patience and stealth. Rather than trailing the herds for the entire journey, prides establish territories along the migration routes, positioning themselves at strategic choke points where the herds are forced to pass. Here, they wait in ambush, using the cover of tall grass and the element of surprise. The lion's strategy relies on teamwork and communication, with each member of the pride playing a role in the hunt. Some lions drive the herd toward hidden ambushes, while others block escape routes, creating a deadly gauntlet for the prey. Lionesses, the primary hunters, rely on their strength, agility, and close coordination. They often target the weakest or most isolated individuals, but are capable of bringing down even the largest adult wildebeest or zebra. The success of a hunt depends on timing, precision, and the ability to exploit any momentary lapse in the herd's defenses. On the open plains, the cheetah reigns as the specialist of speed. Unlike lions, cheetahs hunt alone or in small family groups, relying on keen eyesight to spot vulnerable prey from afar. The cheetah's strategy is built on explosive acceleration. Capable of reaching 75 miles per hour in short bursts, it closes the distance in seconds, focusing on the youngest, smallest, or most distracted animals. The chase is a test of both predator and prey, where a single miscalculation can mean failure. Thomson's gazelles and young wildebeest calves are the cheetah's preferred targets. These prey species have evolved their own defenses, zigzagging sprints, sudden changes in direction, and the safety of the herd. The cheetah must anticipate these maneuvers, timing its attack to intercept rather than simply outrun. Each hunt is a breathtaking contest of speed, agility, and nerve. The outcome is never certain, and both predator and prey risk exhaustion or injury in the attempt. The open terrain offers little cover for either side, making raw speed and quick reflexes the ultimate weapons in this evolutionary arms race. Yet the Serengeti's predators are not limited to lions and cheetahs. Each species has carved out a unique niche, contributing to the complex balance of the ecosystem. Spotted hyenas, with their powerful jaws and tireless stamina, are both hunters and scavengers. Their strategy is one of endurance and cooperation, often running their prey to exhaustion or overwhelming it with sheer numbers. Hyenas operate in large clans, capable of bringing down adult wildebeest and defending their kills from other predators. They are notorious for their ability to steal food from lions and leopards, using intimidation and teamwork to claim a share of the feast. Leopards, in contrast, are solitary and elusive. Their hunting strategy is built on stealth and surprise, using trees and rocky outcrops for cover. They often target smaller animals, or those that stray from the safety of the herd, relying on a sudden, powerful ambush to secure their meal. In the rivers, ancient Nile crocodiles lie in wait. These ambush predators are perfectly adapted for the migration's most perilous moments, the river crossings. Hidden beneath the surface, they strike with lightning speed as the herds plunge into the water, targeting the weak, the young, or the panicked. The river crossings are a crucible of fear and chaos. Prey animals bunch together at the water's edge, hesitating as they sense the danger below. The first to cross risk being singled out, while the mass of bodies can sometimes overwhelm even the largest crocodile. As the migration progresses, the physical toll on the herbivores mounts. Fatigue, injury, and hunger weaken the slowest and most vulnerable, making them prime targets for predators. The journey toward the Grumeti and Mara rivers is especially perilous, as exhaustion lowers the herd's defenses. The predators are quick to exploit any sign of weakness. Those that lag behind or stray from the group are swiftly targeted, their fate a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of the wild. Every attack, every chase, is a test of evolutionary fitness. The constant threat of predation ensures that only the most alert, agile, and resilient individuals survive to continue the journey. This relentless pressure from a diverse guild of predators is a driving force of natural selection. It shapes not only the behavior and physiology of the prey, but also the strategies and adaptations of the hunters. In this ever-shifting balance, predator and prey are locked in a perpetual dance, each shaping the destiny of the other, and together maintaining the delicate equilibrium of the Serengeti ecosystem. In the vast, sun-baked plains of the Serengeti, the migrating herbivores face a relentless gauntlet of predators. Yet, despite the ever-present threat, these animals are far from defenseless. Their survival is a testament to the power of unity, communication, and instinct honed over millennia. The greatest weapon in their arsenal is sheer numbers. By traveling in immense herds, sometimes numbering in the hundreds of thousands, wildebeest, zebras, and antelope create a living fortress. Each individual is protected by the bodies of its neighbors, and the collective movement of the herd becomes a force of nature in itself. When danger looms, the herd contracts, animals pressing close together until they form a dense, shifting wall. This living shield confuses and intimidates would-be hunters, making it nearly impossible for a predator to single out a weak or isolated target. The dust kicked up by thousands of hooves further obscures vision, adding to the chaos. For a lion or a pack of hyenas, the sight of this swirling, thundering mass is daunting. The predators must wait, watching for a moment of weakness. A calf separated from its mother, an injured adult lagging behind. But the herd's unity makes such opportunities rare. The cacophony of hooves pounding the earth, the snorts and bellows of alarm, and the blinding clouds of dust create a sensory overload. Predators are forced to rely on split-second decisions, and even the most experienced hunter can be thwarted by the confusion. Within these herds, different species work together, each contributing unique skills to the collective defense. Zebras, wildebeest, and gazelles form mixed groups, their combined senses and behaviors amplifying the herd's vigilance. Zebras often take up positions at the front and flanks of the herd, acting as sentinels. Their keen eyesight and elevated heads allow them to scan the horizon for the slightest movement. According to the Serengeti Research Institute, zebras can spot a stalking predator from over 1.5 miles away. Their vigilance is the first line of defense, and their sharp eyes rarely miss a lurking threat. When a zebra detects danger, it emits a piercing alarm call, a high-pitched bark that slices through the air. This call is instantly recognized by other zebras and by the wildebeest and gazelles nearby. In a matter of seconds, the entire herd is on high alert, muscles tensed and ready to react. If a predator dares to approach, zebras are not passive. They rear up, lashing out with powerful hind legs. A single kick from a zebra can shatter a lion's jaw, as documented by the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute. This formidable defense often forces predators to reconsider their attack, especially when facing a healthy adult. Many predators hesitate, circling warily, unwilling to risk injury from such a powerful adversary. The herd's unity and the zebra's courage create a nearly impenetrable barrier. Wildebeest, often underestimated, are also formidable defenders. When a threat is detected, adults form a protective ring around the calves, lowering their heads and presenting a wall of sharp horns. An adult wildebeest weighing up to 500 pounds wields a pair of curved horns that can grow to 30 inches. These horns are not just for show, they are deadly weapons. When a predator attacks, wildebeest charge with surprising speed and ferocity, goring and tossing their assailants. There are countless stories of lions and hyenas driven off by the determined defense of a wildebeest mother protecting her calf. The herd's defensive circle is a time-tested strategy. Calves are kept safe in the center, while adults face outward, horns ready. This formation has saved countless young from the jaws of predators. When escape is the only option, wildebeest rely on their speed, reaching up to 50 miles per hour. In a blur of motion, the herd surges forward, leaving predators in their dust. Even the smallest members of the plains, like the Thomson's gazelle, have evolved sophisticated defenses. Their size belies their agility and awareness. When threatened, gazelles scatter in all directions, making it nearly impossible for a predator to focus on a single target. Their signature move, stotting, leaping high into the air, serves multiple purposes. Stotting signals to the predator that the gazelle is healthy and alert, not worth the energy of a chase. It also removes the element of surprise, letting the hunter know it has been seen. Sometimes gazelles leap onto raised ground to scan for danger, alerting others with their posture and movement. This vigilance is shared. One animal's alarm becomes the herd's salvation. Across the Serengeti, survival is a symphony of collective defense and communication. From the thunderous unity of the herd to the sharp eyes of a zebra, the protective wall of wildebeest, and the acrobatic warnings of gazelles, each animal plays a vital role. These strategies, passed down through generations, are written in the dust and thunder of the plains, a living testament to the power of community and the will to survive. To truly appreciate the scale and wonder of the migration, we must immerse ourselves in the daily lives of the remarkable creatures that undertake this epic journey. Each day, as the sun rises over the endless plains, the migrants awaken to a world of both opportunity and danger. The plains zebra, with its striking black and white stripes, is one of the first to stir. Early mornings are spent grazing on dew-laden grass, their sensitive muzzles expertly selecting the choicest blades. Zebras are constantly alert, their large, rounded ears swiveling to catch the faintest sound of a lurking predator. Each zebra's stripe pattern is as unique as a fingerprint, serving not only as camouflage, but also as a way for family members to recognize one another. Social grooming is a vital part of their daily routine, strengthening bonds and reducing stress as they nibble gently at each other's necks and backs. Family is everything to the zebra. A typical group or harem is led by a vigilant stallion who fiercely protects his mares and their young. Foals, born with brownish stripes, stay close to their mothers, learning the subtle cues of herd life and the importance of sticking together. When danger threatens, zebras instinctively form a protective circle, adults facing outward and foals safely in the center. Their unity and vigilance are their greatest defenses, allowing them to survive the relentless gauntlet of predators that shadow the migration. The wildebeest, or gnu, is the migration's tireless engine. With their shaggy manes and curved horns, wildebeest are built for endurance. Each day they cover vast distances, their hooves churning up dust as they move in tightly packed herds. Calves, born during the rainy season, are up and running within minutes, quickly learning to keep pace with the relentless march. Despite their awkward appearance, wildebeest are surprisingly agile. When alarmed, the herd erupts into a thunderous stampede, individuals leaping over obstacles and veering in unison. Their stamina is legendary, allowing them to outrun many predators and cross rivers swollen with crocodiles. Males are fiercely territorial, engaging in ritualized battles to establish dominance. Their horns, which can grow up to 30 inches, are formidable weapons, used both in combat and as a deterrent to would-be attackers. These contests are a daily occurrence, shaping the social structure of the herd. Throughout the day, the air vibrates with the low, resonant grunts of wildebeest. These vocalizations help maintain group cohesion, warn of danger, and are a constant reminder of the wild, untamed spirit of the Serengeti. The Thomson's gazelle, delicate and alert, is the migration's acrobat. With their large, dark eyes and slender legs, gazelles are always on edge, pausing frequently to scan for danger. Grooming is a frequent activity, keeping their coats sleek and free of parasites. Far smaller than their companions, adult gazelles weigh between 44 and 77 pounds. Fawns born in the tall grass remain hidden for days, relying on their mother's vigilance and the camouflage of their coats to avoid detection. When threatened, gazelles explode into motion, bounding high and zigzagging with astonishing agility. This stotting behavior not only confuses predators but also signals their fitness, often deterring pursuit. Their speed is their greatest asset. Capable of reaching up to 50 miles per hour, they can outmaneuver even the fastest predators, making sharp turns and sudden stops that leave pursuers behind. The gazelle's light brown coat, marked by a bold black stripe, is a masterpiece of camouflage. In the shimmering heat of midday, they seem to vanish into the grass, their outlines broken by the play of light and shadow. Together, these three species form a perfectly balanced migratory force. Each has carved out a unique niche, their daily routines interwoven in a tapestry of survival and cooperation. The powerful zebra leads the way, using their strong teeth to crop the toughest, tallest grasses. Their passage opens up the landscape, making it easier for the herds that follow. Wildebeest, in their thousands, follow close behind. They graze on the medium-length foliage left by the zebras, their sheer numbers forming a living shield that deters many predators. Calves play and spar, learning the skills they'll need to survive. Finally, the Thomson's gazelle brings up the rear, delicately nibbling the shortest, most nutritious shoots exposed by the larger grazers. Their selective feeding ensures that nothing is wasted, and the grasslands are kept healthy and vibrant. Each animal, with its unique size, speed, diet, and social structure, plays a vital role in the migration's success. Their daily routines, grazing, grooming, nurturing young, and evading danger, are woven together in a complex, ever-shifting dance. This unwitting cooperation has allowed the Great Migration to endure for millennia, a living testament to the resilience and adaptability of life on the Serengeti. The Great Migration is far more than just a journey. It is the lifeblood of the Serengeti, a ceaseless, ancient rhythm that has pulsed across these plains for countless generations. This endless, circular pilgrimage of life, death, and renewal is the engine that drives this entire ecosystem. Each year, the herds retrace the paths of their ancestors, guided by instinct and the promise of rain, repeating a cycle that has shaped the land and its inhabitants for millennia. The sheer biomass of nearly 2 million animals moving across the landscape has a profound impact. Their hooves churn the earth, their bodies press new trails into the grass, and their presence transforms the very face of the savannah. Their grazing prevents the grasslands from turning into scrubland, promoting fresh growth and maintaining the health of the savannah. The constant movement of the herds ensures that no single area is overgrazed, allowing the land to recover and flourish in their wake. Their droppings return billions of kilograms of nutrients to the soil, fertilizing the very plains that sustain them. This natural enrichment supports not only the grasses, but also the countless insects, birds, and small mammals that depend on this fertile ground. Every step they take, every mouthful of grass they eat, contributes to the vitality and balance of their world. The migration is a living tapestry, woven from the actions of millions of individuals, each playing a part in the grand design of life. This moving spectacle is a powerful illustration of the interconnectedness of all living things. Wildebeest, zebras, gazelles, and countless others travel together, their fates entwined, their destinies shaped by the same forces of nature. The lives of the herbivores are inextricably linked to the rains and the grass, while the lives of the predators are tied to the movement of the herds. Each species, from the smallest insect to the mightiest lion, is bound to the cycle, their survival dependent on the ebb and flow of migration. The vultures and other scavengers depend on the leftovers from the hunt, ensuring that nothing goes to waste. Every fallen animal becomes a source of sustenance, its energy passed on to the next link in the chain. Even the rivers are part of the cycle, their currents carrying away the carcasses of the drowned, providing nutrients downstream. The waters themselves are shaped by the migration, their banks carved by the relentless passage of hooves. It is a complex and perfectly balanced web of life, where every single organism, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, plays a vital role. The migration is not just a movement of animals, but a living, breathing system that sustains the Serengeti. To witness the Great Migration is to witness one of the last truly wild and untamed spectacles on Earth. It is a vision of nature as it has always been, raw, unfiltered and magnificent. In a world where natural spaces are shrinking, the Serengeti stands as a monumental testament to what can be preserved. Here the ancient cycles endure, unbroken by the passage of time. It is a reminder of the grandeur of nature, of its raw power and its delicate intricacies. Every sunrise brings new challenges. Every sunset marks the survival of another day. The thundering of hooves, the vast rivers of animals stretching to the horizon, the primal drama of the hunt, these are experiences that connect the present to a more ancient world, a world governed by the timeless rhythms of season and survival, long before our own time. Ultimately, the story of the migration is a story of resilience and continuity. Each generation faces the same trials: raging rivers, prowling predators, and the relentless search for food and water. Year after year, despite the immense challenges of drought, predation, and exhaustion, the cycle continues. The old fall, the young rise, and the herd moves ever onward, shaped by the lessons of the past and the promise of the future. New calves are born into the heart of the migration, their first steps taken among the thundering herds. Each birth is a renewal, a testament to the enduring spirit of life that animates the plains. The Great Migration is the Serengeti's heartbeat, a powerful rhythmic pulse that has echoed across these plains for eons. It is a living legacy, passed from one generation to the next, unbroken and undiminished. This is a precious natural heritage, a wonder of the world that endures without witness or intervention. As the sun sets and rises again, the migration continues, an eternal cycle, a promise that life in all its magnificent, brutal and beautiful glory will persist for generations yet to come. As the herds thunder across the Serengeti, not all eyes follow the living. High above, the silhouettes of vultures circle patiently, while on the ground, hyenas and jackals slip through the grass, alert to every opportunity. These are the scavengers, nature's indispensable clean-up crew. For every dramatic chase and successful hunt, there are leftovers, bones, scraps, and carcasses that would otherwise litter the plains. Scavengers step in, ensuring that no part of a fallen animal goes to waste. Vultures, with their keen eyesight and powerful beaks, are often the first to arrive. In minutes, they can strip a carcass clean, preventing the spread of disease and returning vital nutrients to the earth. Hyenas, often misunderstood as mere thieves, play a far more complex role. With jaws strong enough to crush bones, they consume what even vultures cannot. Their remarkable digestive systems break down tough materials, recycling calcium and phosphorus back into the ecosystem. By devouring nearly everything, hyenas limit the buildup of organic waste, keeping the plains clean and healthy. But scavengers are not just passive beneficiaries. They are active participants in the migration's drama. Hyenas and vultures alike track the movements of predators, sometimes competing, sometimes cooperating. A pride of lions may leave a half-eaten wildebeest, drawing in a clan of hyenas who in turn attract flocks of vultures. This dynamic web of interactions ensures that every loss in the migration quickly becomes a resource for others. Even smaller scavengers, like marabou storks, jackals and dung beetles, join the feast, each playing their part in breaking down remains. This collective effort accelerates decomposition, enriches the soil, and sustains countless other species. In the grand tapestry of the Serengeti, scavengers are the silent custodians. Their work may go unnoticed, but without them the cycle of life would falter. They are the final link in the chain, transforming death into new life, and ensuring that the Great Migration continues to nourish the plains year after year. The rhythm of the Great Migration is set not by the animals alone, but by a far greater force, the seasons. Here on the Serengeti, rainfall and drought command the movements of millions. The first drops of rain transform the parched earth, painting the plains in vibrant green. Fresh grasses burst forth, luring herds from miles away. Wildebeest, zebras and gazelles sense the subtle shift in the air, their instincts guiding them toward new pastures. Yet the abundance is fleeting. As the rains fade and the dry season tightens its grip, Waterholes shrink and the grass withers. The once lush landscape becomes a harsh arena of survival. Animals must travel farther, enduring dust and thirst in search of the life-giving water that remains. Some, like the wildebeest, time their calving to coincide with the rains, giving their young the best chance to thrive. Others, such as zebras, graze on tougher, dried grasses, making them pioneers on the migration's front lines. Adaptation is essential. The herds move in vast columns, following ancient routes etched into memory by generations past. Elephants dig into dry riverbeds for hidden water, while gazelles rest during the heat of day, conserving their strength. Even the predators and scavengers adjust, tracking the shifting patterns of prey and opportunity. The cycle of wet and dry, of feast and famine, is relentless. It shapes every step of the migration, testing the resilience of all who call these plains home. Through adaptation and endurance, the migrants not only survive the whims of the weather, they are defined by it. In the Serengeti, the seasons are both challenge and promise, ensuring that the great journey and the life it sustains never truly ends. Beyond the thunder of hooves and the spectacle of great herds, the Serengeti is alive with quieter, lesser-known migrations. As wildebeest and zebras traverse the grasslands, a parallel journey unfolds above, below, and all around them. High in the sky, flocks of Abdim's storks and Eurasian swallows arrive from distant continents, their wings carrying them thousands of miles to feast on the bounty the rains bring. These avian travelers ride invisible highways, timing their arrival to coincide with insect blooms and fresh water, their presence a signal that the ecosystem is in balance. Closer to the ground, armies of butterflies and dragonflies rise from the grasses, their delicate forms drifting with the wind. Some, like the African migrant butterfly, cross vast stretches of savannah, following the flush of new blooms and the promise of nectar. Their journey helps pollinate countless plants, quietly sustaining the web of life. Beneath the surface, reptiles like the leopard tortoise embark on seasonal treks to find nesting grounds, while frogs and toads emerge from hiding, their calls filling the night air after the first rains. These small travelers, though often unseen, play vital roles, fertilizing soil, controlling insect populations, and providing food for a host of predators. Together, these unsung migrants form the hidden tapestry of the Serengeti's great movement. Their journeys may pass unnoticed, but they are essential threads in the fabric of the ecosystem, ensuring that life in all its forms continues to thrive. In the shadow of giants, it is these smaller migrations of birds, insects, and reptiles that complete the story of the Serengeti. Every wingbeat, every tiny step, echoes the enduring rhythm of nature's greatest journey. As the herds surge forward, a new generation takes its first steps into a world defined by movement and uncertainty. For the young, calves, foals, and fawns, migration is a journey of survival and discovery. Each day brings new lessons and fresh dangers. Predators lurk at every turn. The inexperienced are the most vulnerable, as lions, hyenas, and crocodiles lie in wait for those who stray too far from their mothers. A single misstep can mean the difference between life and death. Yet these moments of peril are also opportunities for learning, teaching the young to stay alert, to recognize warning calls, and to master the art of hiding in plain sight. Family bonds are their greatest shield. Mothers guide their offspring through treacherous river crossings and across predator-stalked plains, offering protection and comfort. Calves and foals learn by example, mimicking the movements of the adults, memorizing the safe paths and the subtle signs of danger. Older siblings sometimes stand guard, forming a living barrier against threats. Play becomes practice for survival. Youngsters chase each other through the grass, building strength and honing their reflexes. These games are more than just fun. They are essential training for the challenges ahead. Despite the hardships, moments of tenderness abound. A nuzzle from a mother, the reassurance of the herd, the shared triumph of reaching a new grazing ground, these small acts of connection help the young endure the trials of the journey. For every calf that stumbles and rises again, every foal that braves a rushing river, the migration becomes a rite of passage. In the heart of the Serengeti, the youngest travelers are tested by adversity, shaped by the wild, and bound forever to the rhythm of the Great Migration. As the migration unfolds, a formidable obstacle looms on the horizon, the mighty rivers that carve through the African plains. For the herds, these waterways are both lifeline and lethal barrier, gateways to greener pastures, but also arenas of peril where every crossing becomes a test of courage and instinct. The first to approach are often the zebras, their bold stripes leading the way. They gather at the river's edge, sensing the tension in the air. The water churns with hidden dangers. Crocodiles lurk just below the surface, waiting for the chaos to begin. The herd hesitates, ears flicking, nostrils flaring as they weigh the risks. Suddenly, one brave individual leaps forward, and the rest follow in a surge of splashing hooves and flying droplets. Wildebeest thunder across in frantic waves, churning the water into a frothy torrent. Some are swept downstream by the powerful current, while others scramble up slippery banks, their bodies slick with mud. Calves cling desperately to their mothers, and the air is filled with urgent calls, cries of fear and determination blending into a single, relentless roar. Not all make it. The river claims its toll, and predators seize their chance. Crocodiles strike with lightning speed, and scavengers gather along the banks, ever watchful. Yet, amid the chaos, acts of resilience shine through. Gazelles, small and nimble, pick their moment carefully, darting across in small groups when the danger is least. Every species has its own strategy. Some wait for the crowd to thin, others plunge in with the masses, trusting in numbers to confuse their foes. The crossings are a crucible, testing the strength, instincts, and unity of the herds. For those who survive, the far bank brings relief, hope, and a chance at new life. The rivers of the Serengeti are more than just obstacles. They are the stage for some of nature's most dramatic moments. Here, the journey of the Great Migration reaches its most intense crescendo as life and death play out in the swirling waters, and the relentless drive to survive carries the herds ever onward. While the drama of the migration often centers on thundering hooves and perilous crossings, the silent force driving this epic journey is the very grass beneath the animals' feet. The endless plains of the Serengeti and Masai Mara are more than a backdrop. They are the lifeblood of the migration, shaping the patterns and survival of every creature in the herd. With the onset of seasonal rains, the parched earth awakens. Tender green shoots push through the soil, carpeting the savannah in a sea of fresh growth. These nutritious grasses are the magnet that draws over 1 million wildebeest, hundreds of thousands of zebras, and countless gazelles on their relentless trek. The timing of the migration is intricately linked to these cycles of rainfall and regrowth. As the herds graze, they trim the grasses, stimulating new shoots and encouraging a mosaic of plant life to flourish. But the relationship goes deeper. Grazing patterns help maintain the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Wildebeest favor the shorter grasses, cropping them close to the ground, while zebras prefer the longer, tougher blades. Gazelles, nimble and selective, pick among the remaining stems. This division of labor ensures that no single species dominates and that the landscape remains rich and diverse. As herds move on, they leave behind more than footprints. Their droppings fertilize the soil, replenishing vital nutrients and fueling the next wave of growth. In their wake, the land is renewed, supporting insects, birds, and a web of life that depends on healthy vegetation. Plants, then, are more than passive scenery. They are the green engine that powers the migration. Their cycles of growth and renewal sustain the herds, shape the rhythm of the journey, and keep the Serengeti's ecosystem in balance year after year. Without this silent, steadfast force, the Great Migration would not be possible. As the sun dips below the horizon, the plains of the Serengeti transform. The heat of the day gives way to the cool embrace of night, but the migration does not pause. In the darkness, the journey takes on a new rhythm, one of caution, adaptation, and silent determination. For the migrating herds, night is both a respite and a risk. Wildebeest and zebras often continue moving under the cover of darkness, guided by the stars and the distant calls of their companions. The cooler air brings relief, allowing the animals to travel farther without the punishing heat. Yet every step is measured. The herd tightens, calves pressed close to their mothers, as uncertainty lingers in every shadow. The night also belongs to the hunters. Lions, masters of stealth, emerge from their daytime slumber, their senses sharpened by darkness. They move silently through the grass, coordinating with pride members to stalk the edges of the herd. Hyenas, ever opportunistic, patrol the periphery, their haunting calls echoing across the plains. For prey and predator alike, night demands heightened awareness, but not all is peril. Some animals thrive in the nocturnal world. Nocturnal birds and small mammals become active, foraging in safety beneath the stars. Wildebeest may pause to graze, their silhouettes barely visible in the moonlight, while zebras keep a watchful eye, their ears twitching at the slightest sound. The migration's pulse beats on, undeterred by darkness. Each night the journey continues, quiet, tense, and alive with possibilities. The cover of night offers both danger and opportunity, shaping the fate of every creature on the move. In these shadowed hours, the Great Migration reveals an unseen world, where survival depends on senses beyond sight, and every night brings a new chapter to this timeless journey. As millions of hooves thunder across the Serengeti, the impact of the Great Migration extends far beyond the animals themselves. With each season, the relentless movement of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles reshapes the very fabric of the land. Their passage churns the soil, aerating it and mixing nutrients deep into the earth. This natural tilling encourages new grasses to sprout, rejuvenating the plains and supporting an astonishing diversity of life. Water sources, too, are transformed by migration's rhythm. Herds gather at rivers and watering holes, their presence stirring up sediments and helping to distribute nutrients through the ecosystem. Even as they tread the banks, their hooves carve channels that guide rainwater, shaping the flow of streams and sustaining wetlands long after the herds have moved on. The migration's influence can be seen in every corner of the landscape. Grazing patterns prevent any single plant species from dominating, fostering a patchwork of habitats where countless creatures thrive, from insects and birds to predators and scavengers. This constant renewal ensures that the Serengeti remains a vibrant mosaic of life, each species playing its part in a delicate balance. In this way, the Great Migration is not just a journey of survival, but a force that sculpts the land itself. Every hoofprint, every pause to graze, and every crossing of a river leaves a mark, quietly shaping the Serengeti for generations to come. The enduring legacy of migration is written across the plains, in the richness of the soil, the abundance of water, and the breathtaking tapestry of wildlife that calls this place home. As the Great Migration sweeps across the Serengeti, survival is not a solitary pursuit. Here, unlikely alliances blossom between different animal species, each playing a vital role in the collective journey. Wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles move together in vast, intermingled herds, not by coincidence, but by design. Each species brings its own unique strengths, forming a living network of mutual protection and shared opportunity. Zebras, with their keen eyesight and sharp ears, often spot threats long before they strike. Wildebeest, numbering in the thousands, provide safety in numbers, their sheer presence overwhelming would-be predators. The nimble gazelles, ever alert, dart and weave at the first sign of danger, sending ripples of alarm through the herd. Together these animals create a moving shield, watchful eyes and swift legs combining to keep the group safe from lurking lions and stealthy cheetahs. But the connections run deeper than defense. As the migration pushes forward, Each species feeds in harmony. Zebras graze on tough, tall grasses, clearing the way for wildebeest to munch on the tender shoots that follow. Gazelles, in turn, nibble at the shortest, freshest sprouts left behind. This resource sharing ensures that no single group exhausts the land, and that all find sustenance on the long road ahead. Even smaller creatures benefit from these bonds. Birds like oxpeckers ride on the backs of grazing mammals, picking off pests and alerting their hosts to approaching danger. Egrets follow the herds, feasting on insects stirred up by the trampling hooves. In this intricate dance, every animal, great or small, finds its place. The migration's true strength lies not just in numbers, but in unity. A tapestry of life woven from cooperation, trust, and the silent understanding that together they are stronger than they could ever be alone. These symbiotic bonds are the hidden threads that hold the migration together, ensuring that life on the Serengeti endures, season after season. As the rains fade and the grasslands begin to dry, a subtle shift stirs across the Serengeti. The Great Migration, having conquered rivers, predators, and the relentless march of the seasons, now faces a new chapter, the return journey. This is not a simple retracing of steps, but a time of transformation of both land and life. The herds sense the change in the wind. Wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles grow restless, their instincts guiding them toward the promise of fresh pastures in the south. The ground, once lush and green, turns golden and sparse, urging the animals onward. The rhythm of their movements slows, and the vast columns of life begin to fragment into smaller groups, each seeking the last remnants of water and forage. Behavior shifts with the changing landscape. Wildebeest mothers teach their calves to recognize the scent of rain on the breeze, while zebras grow more vigilant, forming tighter circles at night. Calves and foals, once wobbly-legged, now stride with the confidence of seasoned travelers, having survived their first epic trek. The environment too prepares for renewal. Trampled grasses and churned-up earth begin to heal, nourished by the nutrients left behind by millions of hooves. Seeds, once buried and dormant, now wait for the next downpour to spring to life. Birds and small mammals follow in the wake of the herds, taking advantage of the changing conditions to nest, feed, and raise their young. As the migration winds southward, a quiet anticipation settles over the plains. The animals grow stronger, their bodies lean and resilient from months on the move. Instinctively, they conserve energy, grazing methodically and traveling by cooler night hours when needed. Rivers that once swelled with danger now shrink, revealing safe crossings for the tired travelers. No fanfare marks the journey's end, only the silent promise of return. For as the circle closes and the herds reach the birthing grounds once more, the great migration prepares to begin anew. Driven by the eternal pulse of the land, these animals are shaped by a landscape that demands endurance, adaptation, and hope. On the Serengeti, every ending is a beginning. The return journey is not just a homecoming, but a rehearsal for the next cycle, a story written in hoofprints and heartbeats, echoing across the endless plains.